Good morning, this is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here at Yeshiva Tsama Nafshi, located on Rechozik Yaakov number 6 in the Beit Knesset of Brachaniki Yeshivas. We're learning Mishna Berura now. This is our second shir in the morning, getting ready for Purim. 2 weeks exactly, correct? Tiny says
Tonight is Rosh Chodesh.
looks like Rosh Chodesh.
2 days.
That's right, 2 days Rosh Chodesh, exactly right. So we have still a lot of time to prepare, and very big mitzvahs as we learned
If you want to
yesterday.
be sad today, because you know.
Yeah.
That says the end of sadness.
End
now.
of sadness. End of sadness. Good. We were focusing on what we're trying to accomplish by the drinking. So that's let's go back to the Mishna Berura and sit cutting the base Dalit of the Mishna Berura. Yeah, who'd like to have you gone just to read? Again, the Mechaber said, Chayev Inish, a person's obligated na Sume Bikuria Adlur Yada. They order Haman to order Mordechai. This is obligated to, again, as understood, Sume Bikuria to drink extensively until a person does not realize the difference between the cursed Haman and the blessed Mordechai.
Who says Chayvinish means only men.
Yeah.
No,
They make it diak like that.
No,
Specifically men. That's not to say that women shouldn't drink anything at all, but this obligation to lose the distinction between Haman and Mordechai, they're not obligated to do that.
So the deeper muscle is being Oro Haman?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll read.
Yeah, please.
Shazeh mipala rishona shenital. So this is mipala. I don't know what mipala is.
The downfall
Mapala.
from it's in the Fila.
The first downfall of his falling. Nikama Rava Mimenu. One from many?
That he took vengeance from him, from Haman. First of all, brought his downfall about.
Great vengeance from him.
Yeah, with Haman Rav.
V'od, and moreover, Tova Yitzera Mizeh. This is very good. Gedulas Mordechai. The greatness of Mordechai.
I mean, this is greater than the elevation of Mordecai. I mean, Mordecai was elevated to a high status, and at the same time, Haman was lowered to his downfall.
The lowering of Haman was more significant than the raising of Mordechai.
It says, "Oh, Toiv Yisirim is that." No, and that which is a greater benefit was the Gedulas Mordechai, was the exaltation of Mordechai. So, and further, Toiv, and there's a further greater benefit, Toiv, than this, which is the Gedulas Mordechai. I mean, of the two things, if you balance them, on a scale of benefit, what was the greatest benefit? The downfall of our enemy, or the exaltation of our hero. Yeah? So the exaltation of our hero is a greater benefit than the downfall of our enemy.
Shebercho HaKodesh Baruch Hu, that Hashem created.
Yes.
Sha'ala, the Mala Rosh, to raise up his head.
I mean, he was elevated, Sha'ala Lamala Rosh, that he elevated him to the highest height.
V'hinei, and we see Kodem first, Shenish Taker Nasan Bavadai, that he did something, he certainly did something. Shenish Taker.
Now, so certainly, Kodesh Shenaktiv, certainly before he gets drunk, right? Kodim Shenistake, before being drunk,
you certainly should give Todah, thanks, lahashem, to Hashem, Yisbarach, who's blessed, al shtei hatovos, for both of the goodnesses.
Right, so before the drinking, definitely a person gives praise to Hashem on both of these tables, both of these benefits, right? That's before he starts drinking.
Baal king, and therefore, Amru Chazal, as Chazal said, Shalo Yafsik, you should not Yafsik, sufficient?
Right.
Discontinue?
Yeah, from to discontinue, right.
You should not discontinue me retain shvach from giving praise
Mm-hmm.
al zeh concerning this besimcha with happiness.
Right. Al Kain's Amru Chazal. Therefore, Chazal said what they said in order the you should not stop from giving praise, on this with this rejoicing. Right. This rejoicing should be continual and unstopping. He didn't want you to stop doing it. He wanted you to. Chazal wanted you to continue praising HaKodesh Baruch Hu over these two benefits: the downfall of our enemy and the exaltation of our hero.
So we should be doing this on Purim
Yes.
all the time.
Yes. All of them.
Ad shiavo liadei kach, until you come into this matter, shalo yavchin, that you don't choose,
But you don't discriminate.
you don't discriminate. Od ma ben tova zolazo, more from between good, this and this.
Okay, so yes.
This and this good thing.
Right. So we had both things. One was the downfall of Haman and the elevation of Mordecai. And definitely the exaltation, the elevation of Mordecai was much greater benefit for us than the downfall of our enemy. Okay? That we have to take for a given. Right? That's the Mishna Berura is teaching us. That's the given that the Mishna Berura is giving us, that the downfall of Haman, right, was not as great a benefit for us as was the elevation, exaltation of Mordecai. Okay, number one. Number two is, Chazal wanted us to continually thank HaKodesh Baruch Hu for both of these things. For the fact that Haman got hung, right, and his plot was foiled, we have to give thanks. And for the fact that Haman was not successful in killing Mordecai, and rather completely opposite, lahapachu, completely opposite. The turnaround was that Mordecai was raised to greatness, right? And that was, in essence, a greater benefit for us than the downfall of Haman, right? Nevertheless, right, before you start drinking, you realize that. But Chazal didn't want us to stop from thanking HaKodesh Baruch Hu for both of these things. So he wanted us to keep thanking Hashem, keep thanking Hashem for both of these things until we lose track of what was the greater benefit, Haman's downfall or the exaltedness of Mordecai.
V'ayin be'Eliyahu Zuta, and we see with Eliyahu Zuta.
That's a sefer on halacha.
Okay, so we see in this book, de mikol makom, that in every case, yir'eh, we see lios, to be zahir, that we should be quick, be'inyan, in the concerning the matter, netilas yadayim, of washing our hands.
Okay.
So in other words, while we're doing this, all this praising and everything, we need to be very strict about making sure that we wash our hands properly.
Right, meaning basically what the Mishna Berura's approach is like this. We've been given free rein, right, to go to the limit, right? Such limits of drunkenness, or let's say such limits of drinking, let's not call it drunkenness, We've been given the green light for such unlimited drinking, right, that we can no longer understand the difference between what happened to Mordechai and what happened to Haman. Can't understand the difference between the two. Okay? Nevertheless, nevertheless, right, there are limits. There are other things which are going to limit your drinking. Right? Your drinking is limited by the following. Desire the Indian Netilas Yadayim, you have to be careful to be able to wash your hands properly. Right? Birkas Hamotzi, you have to make Birkas Hamotzi now, and Birkas Hamazon. From this, this is a tremendous insight that the Chafetz Chaim is teaching. What's the point about Netilas Yadayim and Birkas Hamotzi? He's gotten so drunk so far that he's been drinking so much before he even washed his hands and had a motzi.
People have the Suda in America, usually late afternoon,
Yeah.
and they're all day, they're going house to house partying, and they're all drinking all day. I don't know what happens over here in Israel, but in America, by the time you get to the Suda, half the people are already drunk. So I mean, maybe that's the way they did it. I forgot what city, I think it was in one of the cities in Greece, I think it was mostly Shomer Shabbos people, but there were so many aniyim that they didn't do Suda. They didn't have time to do the Suda until just before Shkia, because the whole day people were coming to the houses trying to get money. They just didn't have time to do that. So it all depends on what you on the course of the day. So it's just telling. I think it's just telling us, yeah, you want to get drunk and you want to do this up, but don't forget the more important part is the other stuff.
Right. Okay. Very good. Because there is a question raised as to whether or not you have to get drunk specifically when the Suda or not.
Right.
Right. So here you see that possibly, because it's not undoubtedly so, because it could be just dealing with the Metzias, that people are going to be drinking before the Suda.
Right.
Not that whether or not that what they're drinking is within the mitzvah of, because here the whole din of Chayav Yidish and the Sudim and Puria, Adlo Yada, that's within the din of Sudas Pura.
Right.
It's not something which is seemingly
Right.
unrelated to it. But the Metzias might be that people are going to be drinking, whether we like it or not.
No matter what, you still have to, when you finish, you have to still say because of us. You have to,
Right. You
so
have to wash your hands. You have to make a motzi. You have to make birkas hamazon.
So you have to drink, but the knowledge that you're still not going to miss a lot of stuff.
Right.
And
Good.
Marv afterwards.
Right. Very good. Yeah, Marv. After with that, you have more time for what?
What?
You have more time
Yeah,
for
until the
Marv.
morning if you wake up. I've seen people who couldn't wake up for 2 days.
Birkas Hamotzi u'Birkas Hamazon. Vayihi, what? V'yehiyeh
Good.
simcha shel mitzvah.
Now what is this last?
Be the happiness of the mitzvah.
What is it? What is this last comment?
It means don't act like a fool.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't act like a fool. You get drunk, okay, but
Right.
don't.
So-
Some people act like a people. You know, they. I don't know what to tell you. You live in a neighborhood where this is very common.
That's going back to the Bir Halacha that we saw yesterday, right? The Chayim, look at the second Bir Halacha, the Lashon of the Meiri, right? Lashon of the Meiri says, Zeh Lashon HaMeiri, right? Chayav Adam le'har bois b'simcha v'yom zeh. The person has to increase in his joy on this day of Purim, right? Uba achila ubishtia, with eating and drinking, ad shelo yachsa shum davar, until he's not lacking anything, right? Umekol makom, another limiting conditional statement. Nevertheless, ein anu mitzuvin ashtakir levchis atzmeinu b'toch hasimcha. We are not obligated to become drunk and to disgrace ourselves because, right, within the simcha. Shalom nitzlevenu al simcha shel holus v'shel shtus. We are not commanded to get so wild in our enjoyment that it'll be a situation where you have wildness and idiocy, right? Ella, what are we commanded? V'simcha shel tainug. Right, we have to have simcha shel tainug sheyagia mitoichu lahavas Hashem Yisborah. That's the type of simcha we're wanting to achieve. We're trying to achieve a simcha, a joy that we, through the medium of the wine, to help us loosen our inhibitions, we should be able to praise and thank HaKodesh Baruch Hu and rejoice in the things that Hashem is doing for us and has done for us. We should do that in a joyful way, without being wild and without being stupid.
I think Purim became a day of let out for Yeshiva back then.
Not just
One
the
day.
Yeshiva, not only about just Yeshiva
You're right,
guys.
but you're right. You're probably
No, unfortunately, that unfortunately, it's become that in certain. It's like, you know, a day to let go.
To let go.
And just like go wild.
Really?
But that's not the whole.
Must
That's
be
not
that
the point.
Purim has so much kedusha. That's why it's a
Yeah, well, there's a certain story. It's a mashal. I don't know if it's true. I know it's true, but it's a certain mashal that I was taught. One of my rabbis, Rabbi Yisrael David Neumann, is itself. He said there was once a Hasidic fellow going back to Europe a few hundred, 300-400 years, a long time ago in Europe. Everyone lived in villages and little towns and things like this, and he was had his rebbe, and this certain Hasidic fellow was very poor and a lot of suffering in his life, and he prays and he comes and he davens and he does everything as much as he lives a good life, but he just can't get out of a situation. You know, he's so poor and so broken and suffering from this and suffering from that. He keeps going to his Rebbe and asking the Rebbe gives him bracha. So finally he gives up, he can't do anything anymore. He goes to the Rebbe and says, Rebbe, you gotta do something for me. I can't take it anymore. You gotta do something, you gotta get out of this situation. I need parnasa, I need my health, I need all kinds of things, and with everything, kids and everything with the family, and need everything. You gotta help me. So the Rebbe says, look, I know that there's certain gezeras on you. This is what Hashem wants from you. This is your life. This is not. I've tried. Believe me, I know you a long time, and you know I know your situation. I care for you. I feel for you. I've done what I think is my very best. But I realize that the HaKodesh Baruch Hu has gezeras, you know, on you that can't be broken. There's nothing that can be done. So he still says, no, Rebbe, I'm not going to let you go. You got to do something. You got to do something. You got to help me. I'm not mevatel. So he says, look, there's nothing I can do for it. I know myself, but I know what's destined, and there's nothing I can do. There's one person in the world that maybe could help you. Maybe could help you. You got to go to this town. You got to ask for so and so. And you go there and listen to what the people tell you to do, and you follow their instructions. And then maybe, like if you do what they tell you to do, maybe you'll get a bracha from this person, and maybe you'll be able to help you. Right? If he gives you bracha, you'll see things will change. So okay, he's heartened and he's gladdened, and he says, okay, you have to go and get on a wagon and go and travel however long it was to this place, little village out in the woods, and they say, from so and so, and the Rebbe sent me, and he says, oh yeah, how are you? Okay. So he told me to go see so and so. So you want to see this guy? He says, what do you want to see him for? He says, that's what the Rebbe told me. And what do you want him for? He says, I want to get a bracha from him. You're not going to get a bracha from this guy. He says, look, this is the Rebbe told me I have to get a bracha from this guy. He says, one person he found says, okay, the only way you're going to get a bracha from this guy is if you go with a barrel of wine. If you give this guy a barrel of wine, you maybe you'll be able to get him a bracha. So he says, okay, better get a bottle of wine. Okay, then. Goes on a wagon, he goes off to the place they told him, comes to the out of town, in the woods there, comes to a shack, you know, falling apart. No one around. He goes and the door's half open, half closed, the place is dark, knocks on the door, no one answers, but he hears something going on in the little room there, hears something going on, no one's really answering, and finally he has the courage, he opens up the door, he says, this guy is drunk. Guy's drunk on the floor. So I was thinking, this is what the Rebbe sent me all this way to talk to this guy. He's not even coherent, and they tell me I have to give this guy a barrel of wine to maybe get a bracha from him. They can't even look me straight in the face, right? So he starts trying to get to sober this guy up, and starts talking, and this and that. Finally, gets him to be a little bit conscious, and he says, listen, I have a barrel of wine for you, but you're not gonna get the barrel of wine unless you give me a bracha. Right? So finally the guy sort of goes up and up and says, okay, let me see the barrel of wine. So this is the barrel of wine. Take it off the wagon, bring it in here, right? And that's what he did, and the guy gave him a bracha. Gave him a bracha. Got a bracha from his drum. So, okay. So he goes back and things started to change. Things started to change. So he goes back to the Rebbe and says, okay, listen, I did what you said, and Baruch Hashem, things are changing, but I can't understand. You're the Rebbe, you're HaKodesh with Torah, you're a tzaddik, right, Talmud Chacham, right? How can this drunk, right, with a bottle of wine, do more than what you can do? How's it shine? So I said, the Rebbe explained to him like this. He said, you don't understand. This person, right, he was a Talmud Chacham, he was a tzaddik, he is a tzaddik, right? But he had a tremendous nisoyim, right? And he passed in the soil, and it was such a nisoyim, and he passed it so well that the HaKodesh Baruch Hu said that this person's going to have the koyach bracha. Any bracha he gives is going to be fulfilled. But you should know that the Midas Adin came and complained. He said, Rabbanu Shalom, you can't do that. You can't give this guy the koyach bracha. He'll say there should be the gula, and then the gula will come. He'll say that there should be Tchias HaMesim will come. You can't do that. So I said, okay, what should we do? So the Midas Adin said, turn this guy into a shikr, turn this guy into a drunk. She's not going to give a bracha. Right? So I said, that's what Purim's all about. Our Nisurim was so great, and we passed it so greatly, that the koyach of our prayers on Purim is so great, right, that if the HaKodesh Baruch Hu allowed Purim to be a day like Yom Kippur, right, there's no telling what would happen. Everything would be over, and with one Purim, everything would be over. So Hashem said, okay, we have to get Klal Yisrael drunk. Get them drunk, let them get involved with all kinds of other silly things and all these kind of other things, and they'll miss the main point, and the world will be, it always has to be an equality. Can't be it has to be equality between good and evil. The good can't be overriding the forces that are not good. No, because there has to be free will. You have to have free will. We have to have free choice. Right? So therefore, to give us free choice on Purim, right, we have to have such a mitzvah, right, of getting so drunk, right, that maybe there'll be a few people that'll keep their wits about and fulfill the mitzvahs properly, that they can also get their prayers in. That's why they say the prayers on Titus Esther are even more important than the prayers on Purim, some respects, because we're praying with a fast, and we're praying in preparation for the day of Purim. But that's just one understanding of how. Also, you understand why Yom Kippur is Kippur, right? Because we have tremendous powers on Yom Kippur, because the Baal Dover is not Mekatreg. Can't accuse, the accuser can't accuse anything against us on Yom Kippur. But on Purim, we even have more strength. We have so much strength that our prayers are so effective that if we really if we were serious like we were and are on Yom Kippur, if we were so serious on Purim, there'd be no equality between the forces of Kedusha and the forces of Tumah. So you have to maintain that equality. So therefore, you have such a mitzvah, and that maintains the equality between the forces of Kedusha and the forces of Tumah, or purity and impurity.
So but the higher person is, the more these forces of people trying to stop the person from succeeding?
Yeah, for sure. Definitely.
Because it has to be this way.
In war, you always try and knock out the commanders first. You're always trying to, kill the commanders.
That's what he's trying to do. You're trying to kill the big ones.
Yeah. Spiritually, physically, whatever.
Big ones doesn't bother us so much.
Well, I mean, you have to pray for self-Ishmael. You have to be careful. But again, Hashem wants equality. Hashem wants there should be equal free will for everything to exist properly. And Hashem has His plans, and so. But we have to, with our prayers and our mitzvahs, our ma'asim tovim, our Torah a vote of a Gimel society. We have the power to change things in the way that Hashem wants the world to exist. So, so therefore, a lot of people, unfortunately, they look forward to Purim, time to let go. They're missing the whole point.
I agree.
You'll see, it's you have to, before you start your Suda, you should learn. Before you start your Suda, you should the whole proper way of doing things, for sure. Okay, let's have a few minutes. Let's just finish up this Mishna Berura, a couple of more lines. Right? I'm the Mayat me Prima Gadid. Take a look there in the Prima Gadid. That's the second wide line.
Oh, we're all the way down here?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was supposed to be yes, simple shal mitzvah. It should be a simple mitzvah, not as idiocy and foolishness and the wildness. That's not what we're after. We're not after a wild time. It can get wild, but if it's within the context of the simple shal mitzvah, it's okay.
To Inyan Udas Purim, concerning the matter of the feast of Purim, U matanot le'evyonim, and the gifts to the poor, U mishloach manos, and the gifts to friends, Efshar de tzarich, it's possible that it's necessary, kavana, to have intention, al zeh, concerning this, l'shem mitzvah, in the name of the mitzvah. To have intention that I'm doing this for the sake of it.
For the sake of the mitzvah. You have to intend. I'm not sure why it's just an Efshar. Maybe because it's Mrs. the Rabbanan. It's a question, Mrs. the Rabbanan, Tzrikus Kavana or not. But so the only question is Efshar Tzura Kavana al zeh l'shem mitzvah. Meaning because why? Because what's the point of doing something l'shem mitzvah? In general, let's take a mitzvah d'oraisa. Let's say a person, he's saying Kriya Shema. Let's say he's doing bris milah. Let's say he's listening to a shofar, sitting in a sukkah. So he could be sitting in a sukkah because it's hot outside and it's shady in the sukkah. So maybe he's doing it because he just wants to be in the shade, right? Maybe he's doing a bris milah because he thinks it's a medically proper and healthy procedure to be done, right? Right. So maybe he's doing other mitzvahs, which those are mitzvahs d'oraisa. So if he's not doing it with the intention that he's doing this because it's a command of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu, he's missing the boat, and it could be he's not really fulfilling his mitzvah at all. Okay? Right? So that's by mitzvahs d'oraisa. That l'tchila, even it could be miyakev, you could even prevent you from fulfilling the mitzvah properly if you don't have specific intention that when you're doing the mitzvah, you're doing to fulfill the will of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Cutting off of the foreskin is done because it's the will of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Listening to the shofar is being listened to because it's the will of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu. Right? When it comes to mitzvahs to Rabbanan, it's not so clear that has to be done in order to fulfill the mitzvah. But however, such mitzvahs like eating a suda, sending gifts to your friends, giving charity money, which are many times done not within the context of a mitzvah. I want to have a dinner party, a birthday, an anniversary, so having a dinner party, right? So many times you have these kind of things throughout the year, and it's not within the context of a mitzvah, right? So it's possible that when you're sitting down for your Sudas Purim, you should think, you know why I'm doing this? I'm doing this because this is the Ratzon of the HaKodesh Baruch Hu, has been told to me through the Chachamim. Mordechai asked the Anshe Knesset Gadol, and then all the way down, straight down to the Mishna Berura. That's why I'm doing this. Why am I going to get as possibly drunk as I can possibly be on Purim? Why am I doing that? Because it says in the Shulchan Aruch that's what I'm supposed to do. Not doing it because I want to have a wild time. If you're doing it because you want to have a wild time, you might as well just go to sleep on Purim, because you're better off if you go to sleep. You're just wasting a lot of wine, right? Just go to sleep. You have to do it l'shem mitzvah. Efshar. The only question is why is it efshar? Could be because it's Mrs. the Rabbanan. I have to check it out and see if that's what.
But they didn't put the drinking that you need kavana.
No, he didn't mention it.
Could it be that it's
that could be included within the Suda, maybe. He should have really, should
I
have.
think that's what you're drinking, you're not gonna remember
He
anything.
should have seen, true, he should have said the drinking, he should have also the
But
drinking.
that's a mitzvah that people do with Shem Shemaim at the beginning, but then they forget.
Yeah,
Could
well,
it
once if
be-
you have it at the beginning,
Yeah.
it might be good for
That's
us.
a question.
Give us again.
Could it be that it's, what's saying with the Efshar is that maybe it's necessary to do it l'shem mitzvah, and if you don't get credit for the mitzvah at all. Or maybe you still get credit for the mitzvah,
Mhm.
even though you didn't do it l'shem mitzvah.
That's what I'm wondering about, yeah. I have to work it out. I'll try and see if I can, if anyone speaks
How
about it.
much is someone required to give from a Torah of Yonim?
Torah of Yonim, poskim say, basically,
A meal.
a meal, like if you go out to eat. Now, what does that mean, a falafel? That means to go out to a restaurant, falafel you can get what, for 20, 30
10
shekels?
shekels.
30 shekels?
10 shekels.
10 shekels, 10 shekels.
15 shekels.
15
30
shekels.
shekels, so they give 100 altogether. Is that enough? 100 shekels.
For two,
Yeah.
50 shekels each? That's good, that's very good. Yeah, 50
For
shekels, 50,
everything?
50 shekels each, very good. And if your wife gives another 50-50, so between you and your wife, 200 shekels, you're okay.
Is the ideal to try and get 200 or 50-50 more?
What do you mean?
What's the best thing to, can my wife give 50 and you 50? I give 50 and she gives 50?
Well, again, you have to give to two people. So I mean,
Yes,
between you and your wife, you have to give to 4 people altogether.
He's saying 25 shekels a meal, he's saying.
Right. So if you give 25 and 25, your wife gives 25 and 25, that's good. That's good. If you want to give 50 and 50 and 50 and 50, that's also is even better. You'll see the Mishnah was going to discuss more. It's better to spend money on the Torah Yoni than to spend a lot of money on Shalach
You have to
Manos
give
and
it
things like
200.
that.
So 200 is
Yeah.
the ideal.
Yeah, that's
the
good.
slot.
But you have to make sure, by the way, we'll get to it, but you have to make sure that the
Rosh
money,
doesn't have any money,
Yeah,
just
the-
two
Goes
food
to the
items.
row.
there should be someone where you daven collecting.
One
I
person.
think one is one person, one is two.
You know, Rabbi Fairman, maybe Rabbi Fairman knows some people he's giving out
There's a
to.
few people who the Gemara that Asa gives it out,
Yes,
or the Rosh Hashanah gives it out.
very good.
So I'll try give 200.
They'll be, but you have to make sure, your wife should be giving of her own money. I mean, you should give her a gift, a money gift, and tell her it's hers, she can do anything that she wants with it. However,
She should give out of her own money 100.
yeah, however, if she wants to, she should make you a shliach to deliver her Matanas Ravioli.
I'll tell her that. I should give 100, she give 100.
For two, and should they make it clear that when you're giving it, it's for two. Work it, you speak to the people who are making the collections. There'll be signs, I'm sure, in your shul or, whatever.
I'll tell her.
Yeah. Very good, okay, I'll have to stop. 15 minutes. Tomorrow.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Thank you.
But to be